So this is day 21. 3-week update. There's a major part of the first 2 weeks work. So this is where we are here. And it's about the same length, same width as that stretch over there. But it's not quite as deep. Not nearly as deep. But it's alright. It's just under. This is the squash row. Kind of the plan here. Dennis, as you know, came and mulched this fallow field of weeds. And the friendly plowman came and plowed up the other half of our neighbor's feed, supply, garden, whatever they want to call it. So this is the more of the same, of course, kind of boring, just black. Oh, you can see this and that. There's our little view of our weed suppression strawy stuff, and then just a touch of very nice, generally pretty good manure on top, aged manure. Then there's this section here, if it was fresh, completely fresh, and then there's a section where I used chips earlier, two months ago, just because it was the apple tree. And here's an area of just straw, shadow, just strawy, crappy hay. But that's alright. And then we come back to the, you can see my little, I got some dipsy doodles going on. I'm probably, who knows where I am as far as property line goes. We'll figure that out one day. I'd like to do that as soon as possible, though. It is kind of annoying. There's a lot of things we can't do. So this is a little apple tree here. It's not little. This is back to the house garden. Like I said, this is the end of the house garden. Again, way deeper. Oh, it's over. It's way too much there. Anyway, so I left spots where I just, around the tree, I was going to try and, you know, just fill that in with chips. But we don't know what's going on with chips anymore, so, but it's better than not gonna. Can't put manure there. Shouldn't put manure there. Don't want to. So we'll see what goes on from there. There's a little few bones I've found in the antlers. Bones, I guess. He's got dogs too, so quite a nice little, a couple of little chunks of salt block we found. This is, had to dipsy doodle through here around the, to get in here. And that brings us up to, give or take, it's about, it's a kind of a straight line there. That little odd shaped piece there is for where we finished in July, was the last we put anything down. We got a little low there for some reason, because of those grapes in the way, I guess, or something. I don't know why. That's what we had done from July, just from a few days, 6 days or so. So if nothing else, that's going to be ready to go for sure. We did fill in this area where there was a wood chip pile, so that needs chips again. It's kind of, again, an odd shaped thing. We just kind of been just filling in and filling and filling. Like I said, there was a wood chip pile here, so it was an odd shaped thing, and I filled in a bit at the back here. Tried to get the oats to go. Not ideal germination time for oats, but these are oats. Be nice if you could just get them to you can afford to throw a little skiff of something. A little good dirt on top in your oats. And these are probably going to be the last of the cucumbers. This will be the first of the cucumbers for this cucumber, actually. I didn't show you the other one. But I've had dozens of, not dozens, but a large number of big, way nice, big, beautiful, tasty cucumbers off the other one, which was in the mulch, and this was not mulched. Well, it was put in the corner. This was an area I did before I did that part. I did, of course, none of it got chipped until. So I put this down basically, and then we got the pile of chips here from the national park. I'm not sure which, however the sequence was, but so I planted that basically right at that. At one point was my corner. I just shoved a couple seeds right in the raw manure, but it didn't get chipped until I planted it, right? Whereas that stuff there was chips I had down, some manure from last year too, and some chips I put down only for about a month underneath that walnut with the strawberry or the grapes. And anyway, I mean, it's obviously, you know, wasn't ideal soil for it, but that was, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I'll just edit all that foolishness out, I guess. This little area was the stuff that came up nice with this oats. I just pulled it out by hand, laid it on its side, and then put another little skiff of fairly good stuff on top. The kale. The kale is doing well. My little test kale. I bought a half a kilogram of kale seed. I used about 1/10 of a gram here. And I figure I could, I mean, it's gonna be winter. I could probably transplant a row 3 times that long out of from what's there. Again, who knows what might happen. I might lose a few over the winter, but it's, you know, seems like. But again, this area never had chips. This is white radish, whatever, white carrot. Sorry, they call it parsnips. What it is, they call it white rapa. Some beets, just test to see. I just planted them, I don't know, a week. Well, it was quite a few days before, quite a ways ago, actually. But they're coming up. Again, this was never mulched, so the soil isn't very good. What you see here is the sheep manure. I mixed it with rock dust to give it something to live in. This area we're just gonna chip with walnut leaves, I guess. That's what I'm gonna depend on here. So yeah, I mean, it does have just this barest little ½ inch, if it's possible. I spread it thin, just of those kind of almost like chainsaw filings or filling, whatever. Those act like chips. Or just like chainsaw stuff. So not very great. And I would just spread them on the thinnest. Actually, I did them only in little rows, so they don't move much, so it's not much here. So. But even that, you'd be surprised how much that dirt has changed. In just a little while. So I'm not too concerned about it. This will all be good next spring. This area that area for definite will be fine. Anyway, there's some potatoes. Some of these potatoes, again, same thing. Planted them almost in fresh horse manure, and then threw some chips down on top of them, and they didn't come up, and they didn't come up, and they didn't come up, and some of them didn't. Most of them didn't come up at all. But in that little bit of time, a month, those chips turned the dirt into, well, the horse manure into dirt, and then the plant and potatoes have said, okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and start growing now. I suspect some of them just got, I don't know if they'll actually produce anything. So, no shortage of nitrogen. Look at that, oh, look at the size of that stalk. So as far as tubers, I don't know if they're going to produce anything, but they'll certainly grow tops in this. But anyway, planted a bunch of stuff here, tested right in the front. It was stupid. Nothing came up. Nothing. It was just, you know, you could almost burn your hand on the dirt. It was fresh dirt. And then I got the chips maybe a week after I got that down, and so I thought, oh great, I'll plant. And it's just, you know, the potatoes just became part of the mulch, or the under the dirt. They just cooked and rotted, I'm sure. But some of them, that chips changed, and some of the potatoes were hardy enough that they were able to survive, or whatever reason, and they started growing 2 months later or whatever. So it was kind of an amazing little side bit.